name is Diego Sepúlveda, y me da un gran placer estar aquí con todos ustedes. Bienvenidos, este fue el trabajo de ustedes. This has been the hard work of everyone in the audience that we are able to be here today. So a la comunidad, gracias de estar aquí. To everyone, thank you so much for being here. Lo quiero introducir a la directora ejecutiva del California Museum, Dory. So con eso, muchas gracias a la comunidad de estar aquí. Y por favor, denle una bienvenida a Dory. Cool. Thank you.
Welcome to the California Museum. My name is Dory Moorhead. I'm the executive director. Tonight we're celebrating an opening of a very exciting exhibit. We are all Californians. And there are so many people that we need to thank. It's almost everybody that's standing in the courtyard tonight. So thank you very much. But some people I'd like to recognize individually. Assemblymember Chu, Secretary of State Alex Padilla, Assemblymember Akadesian, Assemblymember Salas, Senator Marty Block, and Assemblymember Dale, and Deputy Consul General for the Mexican Consulate, who are all here tonight. Some other people I'd like to acknowledge is our host committee members. If you were invited to this event by somebody, it was probably one of our host committee members. If you guys, everybody's standing, so if you guys can kind of wave in the crowd so that we could acknowledge you. So. I want to especially acknowledge tonight the former Unity Council board member, Genevieve Sharoma. Tonight, we're not only opening up an exhibit, we're also doing a groundbreaking for the California Unity Center. And without the dream of the former Unity board, we would not have the California Unity Center. So Genevieve Sharoma, thank you. The California Board of Trustees, my bosses, are all here tonight in and amongst you. I've seen most of you. Thank you so much for coming. Richard Costigan, board chair, I know you're here somewhere. If you'll give everybody a wave. So, thank you. The people that help us, as the museum, we come up with an idea and we have to get somebody to understand what we're trying to do. We write it down on notes, we have a lot of phone calls, we send a lot of emails, but exhibit designers really help us. And our exhibit designers of the exhibit tonight are here, West Office and BBI, if you guys will wave. And last but not least, the California Museum staff is a staff of 6. I say it a lot, but it is really amazing what we're able to do with our small staff of 6. It absolutely floors me, and I think you'll be amazed when you see the exhibit tonight that we're able to do what we do with our very small staff. So a special thank you to all the hard work and dedication of the California Museum staff. So I don't forget, I'm going to say it up front. As you leave tonight, there are exhibit passes available for you to take, and there will be posters available for you to take. So make sure that you take what you need or what you'd like on your way out. But don't leave yet. There's a lot to see. This exhibit contains 9 first-person narratives of immigrants from countries around the globe. It is displayed on an interactive 20-foot multimedia wall, and visitors will explore how immigrants pursue the California dream. Many of the people that you'll see in the exhibit are standing behind me. As a State's History Museum, we felt it was important to tell the story of immigrants, as 1 in every 4 Californians is foreign-born. Today, we are also celebrating the grand opening, as I mentioned, of the California Unity Center. This exhibit is just the first exhibit of the Unity Center, and the rest are due to open by December of 2017. The Unity Center will explore California's rich civil rights history and will be a place where people of all backgrounds will confront their most closely held assumptions and take responsibility for change. History and civic engagement will indeed collide at the California Museum, and a positive change will happen for all of California. My sincerest thanks goes to Daniel Zingali of the California Endowment. He took a moment, yeah. He took a phone call from us 3 years ago and then took a meeting and talked to us about the dream we had for this exhibit. And it was just sketches, really bad sketches on a piece of paper. And he listened to us, and after he listened to us, he said, yeah, I can help you fund that. And for 3 years, we've been working to this day. And so, without further ado, I want to introduce to you Daniel Zingali.
Thank you, Dory. You guys look beautiful from here. I see Assemblyman McCarthy also joined us. Thank you for joining us, sir. So I sometimes get asked, how does a health foundation, the California Endowment, fund an exhibit or things that have to do with immigration? And as most things in Sacramento, there's the public answer, which I gave at the press conference earlier, and then there's the family answer, which I'm going to give to family right now, the real answer. The real answer is the same as the name of our incoming board chair, and it's the heart and soul of the California Endowment, Jane Garcia. And Jane is here. That's the real reason, the real way that we do it. So you're going to see more of these folks in the exhibit tonight, and you're going to hear from some of them in a minute. But what I want you to know is that those of us on this stage, we come from many places. Some of us come from right here. I was born in Sacramento, born in California. My family's been here for a long time. But one of the things you're going to see in this exhibit is how the people who are the most Californian of all are the ones who actually decide to come here. It's a blessing to be born, don't get me wrong. I'm so grateful that I was born here, but it's kind of like inherited wealth. I didn't do anything for it. I was just lucky to be here. And so what this exhibit will ask you to think about is, what's more important? Were you born in California, or was California born in you? And whether we were born here or born somewhere else, you can discover what it is about California that really reaches for the promise and the potential of what has made this state great. And there's such inspiring examples behind us. Californians, the real Californians, are the ones who cross the deserts and cross the oceans and cross them over from other states, and yes, cross borders and even climb barbed wire fences to become Californians. And it's that spirit that makes California this wealthy nation state, which we are, which can afford to acknowledge that we all belong here and we all have the right to pursue happiness, to pursue health, and to health coverage. What I want you to do now is to take out your mobile devices, not put them away. I'm asking you to take them out and tweet or go on Instagram. I know you all are hip enough to do this. I want to see some people tweeting. And the hashtag we want you to use is We Are All Californians. Hashtag We Are All Californians. I see Drisha getting right on it. There's a photo booth, I understand. Is it that way? Photo booth over there where you can get a picture, and you can use that on social media too, so we can spread the word beyond this great event. All right, so now to get us started, we're going to have a spoken word by Akiko. She is a nurse, she is a poet, and she's a community organizer for Aspire. Akiko.
This poem is entitled Only for a Moment. I don't have time to see the doctor. Kiko, you worry too much, and I'm pretty well, you know. May 9, 2013, Mama exclaimed proudly, Anak, I may be old again, but I still look like I'm 40. And yet, she feels a boulder she estimated at 3,500 tons weight sits perched on her fragile back. Her headaches are like earthquakes with a magnitude of 8.0. It destroys the foundation of her skull, ignites fires at her temples that runs to the base of her neck. Unable to stand the quake, she drinks Tylenol like she drinks water. So for a moment, she can breathe again. For a moment, she is young again. Her once strong hands, hands that climbed Mount Pinatubo and Mount Fuji, hands that carried me as a baby, have grown weak, unable to grasp my hand strong enough so she can feel me. Hands inflamed from an autoimmune reaction leading to synovial hypertrophy and chronic joint inflammation. Technical words that are not enough to describe the limited movement of her hands and the deformity of her once slender fingers. Again, she drinks Tylenol like she drinks water. So for a moment, she can breathe again. For a moment, she is young again. Day after day, I hear her voice haunting me. Anak, if I die, you can sell my house in the Philippines, my jewelry, so you can bury me without debt. But Anak, if I ever go to the hospital, I will bury us in debt. Her words penetrated my very core, a virus that invaded the foundation of my immigrant justice. While I protest, rally, and tell my story, while I feed patients, clean their wound, give them medication, my mother is in pain, older, sicker, dying. Her body gives warning signs every day. It taunts me as if to ask, who do you fight for? What do you fight for? An immigration reform that will only make me wait 15 years for proper care, wait 15 years for tests to figure out the origin of my pain, wait 15 years for a prescription to the right medication. Anak, every day I am dying. Right now, she still doesn't have a choice but to drink Tylenol like she drinks water, so for a moment she can breathe again, and for a moment she is young again. I feel my bones tatter and tear, skin burning ash, feel numb from the fire that runs through my nerves. 12-hour shifts, organized, study full-time. I don't realize how difficult it is to breathe. Consciously, I feel my diaphragm drop, lung tissues slowly expand, taking more effort than usual. I run out of energy to try to shield her from the cruelty, the pain, and heal her. So I drink Tylenol like I drink water, to breathe again, to be young again, because I am also dying.
Thank you, Akiko. That was beautiful. Just in case any of you thought this was going to be just another Sacramento reception, it is not. So most of you know, we're from around here, that we're in the building of the Secretary of State. The California Museum's in the building of the Secretary of State. So it's very important when you try to do something groundbreaking and bold like the We Are All Californians exhibit that you have the support from the top. And in this Secretary of State, we do, and even more importantly, he's breathing new energy into making California more representative of who we are when we vote. Alex Padilla.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Dory. Thank you, all of you, for being here today in what's a very, very important celebration. You know, Daniel mentioned since we're in Sacramento, would you say there's a public answer and a family answer to some things? Well, this is not my first year in Sacramento, and over the years I've learned, or at least I heard, another piece of advice when it comes to Sacramento politics. They say, don't take things personal. Tonight, I couldn't disagree more. See, there's a lot of things that I take personal, including tonight's celebration and the exhibit that we're opening. It's personal for me, and I'm filled with joy because as a relatively new Secretary of State, 106 days on the job, this is the first official museum event that I'm able to participate in, and something that I can relate to a whole heck of a lot. The museum space was initially started as a way to be able to share the California archives with the public. It belongs to the public. Right? And one of the things, if you spend some time in archives, one of the official divisions of the Secretary of State's office, you do a little research and you'll find the census book from 1852, only 3 years after 1849. So what does that mean? If you look through the census book, you'll see two things, name after name after name after name after name, and next to the names, when they ask occupation, there's a lot of minor, 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 minor. People coming to mine gold in gold country. But if you do a double take and you look at the name after name after name after name, you'll see the country of origin of all those miners. And if you can imagine a country, it's on that list, from Latin America to Asia to Europe and Africa and everywhere in between. You see the immigration experience, the contribution of immigrants, the story of immigrants isn't just a California story today and a California story tomorrow. It's been the California story from our very, very beginning. And we celebrate that here today too. And the reason I can't help but take this personal is because last week I had a very, very tremendous experience. For the first time as Secretary of State, I had a chance to stand on the stage at the Sacramento Memorial Auditorium, participating in a naturalization ceremony for nearly 500 immigrants from all over the world becoming United States citizens that day. And I couldn't help but think of my parents. If you're one of my Facebook followers, you would have read the message already. Couldn't help but think of my own parents who in the 60s, on their own, my dad is from Jalisco, my mom is from Chihuahua, decided to come not just to the United States, but to California in pursuit of the American dream. They came here, they met, they fell in love, they got married. That's another Hollywood story in the making. They had 3 children. My father, after nearly 40 years of working as a short order cook, and my mother working just as long cleaning houses, they both finally retired. And those 3 children went on to be my older sister, who just graduated from teacher to administrator in the LA Unified School District a couple of years ago, my younger brother, who works for the city of Los Angeles, and I, your humble public servant, the Secretary of State. And think about that. In one generation, our family went from being the immigrants and the cooks and the house cleaners to now a constitutional officer in the Golden State, the great state of California. So I want to close with this. That does not make me or my family any better than anybody else, because what my family is now able to contribute to in the form of public service, another family is able to contribute to moving our economy forward, another family is able to contribute to moving our culture forward or our cuisine forward. You name the field. There are immigrants moving our state and our nation forward, and that is what we celebrate with this latest exhibit. Thank you, and welcome to all of you.
All right, Secretary Padilla, you made it personal, so I'm going to get personal. I want to give a shout out to my immigrant son. Carl is here. He came from Russia when he was 18 months old, and my life has not been the same since, let me tell you. Right over there. Next up is Kim Williams. Kim leads an initiative here called Building Healthy Communities, which we're all real proud of because it brings communities together in the spirit of we're all Californians, we're all Sacramentans. Kim, would you come up and say a word, please?
Thank you, and it's so wonderful to see all these faces out here tonight. And the diversity that we see here tonight is the diversity that we see in Sacramento. And the Building Healthy Communities area is one of the most diverse areas within the Sacramento area. And what makes it so important is that we have people who are in that area who are immigrants, who are not immigrants, who are undocumented, who are documented, who were born in California, who moved here from other states, who were in California, left California, and came back. So we have all of this diversity, and one of the things that we're so excited about this exhibit is we'll get a chance to have our residents and our community members come and listen to these stories. Growing up, I can remember sitting around the dinner table with my parents and hearing the stories that they told about their parents and their grandparents, helping me to understand who I am and who I was growing up to be as a young African American, learning my history. And it's the stories that they told that helped me to see that and understand that, and it helped to shape me to the woman that I became. And the stories that you'll hear and that you'll see, these are real stories from real people. And they're not going to be the stories you're going to see in your school textbooks. They're not going to be the stories that you're going to read about in a newspaper. These are real people who have lived real lives. And those are the kind of things that our young people, especially our young people, that's where my passion is with youth, is that they'll get a chance to see that and hear that, identify with that themselves, and hopefully be inspired by that so that they can become something greater too and contribute not only to California, but to this country. So we're really excited. We're happy you're all here. We hope you're going to enjoy what you see tonight and bring others with you and get a chance to understand and see a glimpse of the folks who in this country have come to make what it is, what California is, and even what Sacramento is. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. As you guys all know, this exhibit is only one of many exciting things happening in Sacramento these days. I know Martina and her team from the Sacramento Kings are here talking about designing the new arena. We also have in the house some representatives from the Sacramento Republic, our emerging soccer team. So I'm going to bring up Erica from the Sacramento Republic and Nemanja, who is a Defender of the Year 2014, started in 33 of 34 games, I think, last season. Come on up, you guys.
So thank you very much. For those of you who aren't familiar with Sacramento Republic FC, we are very much homegrown here in Sacramento and very much in California. Our brand literally comes from the beautiful California state flag behind us. When we talk about being a republic, we talk about being that diversity and of the people, and that is literally born out of the California state flag. Our colors come from the California state flag. The star in our crest symbolizes not only our place as the capital of one of the largest, strongest economies in the world, but our place here in Sacramento in the state of California. But I think what we are most proud of is the representation we have, not just of our local community, but the state. I am very lucky to have been born here in California and a Californian by birth, but I think what we're very excited about is the representation that we also have, and with the wonderful gentleman next to me, Nemanja, our Defender of the Year, who is one of over a dozen players on our roster, let alone the representation of our fans that are a Californian and a Sacramentan by choice. And so with that, Nemanja.
Hello. Hi, everyone. So I am Nemanja Vukovic, and I am from Montenegro, ex-Yugoslavia, from Europe, if somebody knows where it is. So I'm very glad and lucky to come here last year in Sacramento, and really me and my family, my wife and little daughter enjoying to live here, and really we love so much California, especially Sacramento, and we already feel like Californians. And thank you.
Nemanja, all right, thanks you guys. All right, and the last speaker, Diego, is going to come up here. Diego is an undocumented queer warrior for social justice. Diego.
Hi, everyone. Sometimes I forget I'm a little loud. Like he said, my name is Diego Sepulveda. I'm standing before you because I stand on the shoulder of giants, people like my parents who came over to the United States, people like my mom that came over to the United States when I was just 4 years old as a single mother with my brother and me in her arms and taking us over the border. And who would imagine that 24 years now, 23 years actually, 23 years later, I would have graduated from UCLA. And then my sister, who once dreamt of going to college, that I once dreamt of going to university too, that I would have graduated, and now my sister's gonna be a Bruin as well. And I'm really proud of the work that my mom has done, because me being here and our stories up on this wall are a representation of our community, of the people who have fought for us to be able to be here today. So I stand here representing my mom, who is sick and cannot get care because she is undocumented. So when I think of advocating for health for all, I think of the 1 million people in this state who do not have access to health insurance because of their status. And I think of people like my mom, who I fight for every single day. I think of the LGBT folks who face discrimination and who have a really tough time here. And I'm really thankful and I'm really blessed to stand here before you, because you all have provided me with a platform to be able to share my story. So thank you to the California Endowment. Thank you to the California Museum, because our stories are gonna be here for the generations to come. Growing up, I would have never imagined that I would have gone to college, graduated, that my sister would be a Bruin, that I would be pursuing my MBA, to be the first in my family to graduate from university, and to be the point two of 100 Latinos, as stated in the Chicano educational pipeline, to try to even do that. And I do it because of my parents, and I do it for all the other folks that are going to be coming. Because we in this room are really shaping California, because as California goes, so does the nation. And in that, I hope that my mom is one of them. So when I think of us advocating for everyone. I think of my mom, and I think of my dad, and I think of all the struggles that they faced for me to be able to stand here. So as I was chanting last week at the Health for All conference, everybody in, nobody out. Can everyone say it with me? Everybody in, nobody out. Everybody in? Thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
All right, Diego, thank you. Okay, just a couple more little things we got to do. We have to cut the ribbon so we can open the exhibit and you all can see it. It's amazing. But before we do that, if I can ask Nemanja, could you come up here one more time? And Jesus, would you join us up here? Make sure they can see you. Jesus is the son of one of the folks who's in the exhibit. So these guys have these amazing soccer balls from the Sacramento Republic, which you cannot buy. You can only get if they toss one to you, and you're only going to get one tossed to you if we hear you say, "We are all Californians." This side can do better. Right, Jesus? Throw them some balls, Jesus. I think they're doing fine. One more time, everybody together. We are all Californians. All right, come on, keep it coming. We are all Californians. We are all Californians. We are all Californians. We. Give them some balls. All right. Okay, we're going to cut the ribbon. Jesus, will you help us cut the ribbon? Will you help us cut the ribbon? You can do it. It's just that up there. See those people? Go on. All right. All right, you guys, here we go. Thank you all. We're all Californians.